Hey everyone, Bren here. Welcome to this week's garden update. And guess what? I finally got around to sowing some more of the summer edible crops at last. It's only taken me about 3 weeks, but I've got there. But don't get too excited because there's no green sprouts yet. That will probably happen this time next week, but for the moment they're just trays and little cells with some seed raising mix in them, but still very exciting, and I want to show them to you now. So please just sit back, relax for a few minutes and let's get into it. I finally got around to sowing lots more of the heat-loving edible crops this week. I also made a start on dividing up and potting on some of the cut flowers which I have growing in the greenhouse. Well, it was only one big tray I got divided up, which are these. So these all came from one sowing, which are the mixed cut flower blend of zinnias. But then beside them, here is where I've done the edible crops, except for this one here, which is a Rebecca. I purchased the seeds off Diggers. They have a really nice light coloured centre, really pretty looking Prairie Sun variety. I noticed something here on the Diggers Club seed pack which I haven't seen on any other Australian seed companies' packaging. It actually has a QR code, which is pretty handy, and if you scan that, which I just did, it brings you to their website with lots of useful information. And then the other thing about how these seeds have been transported and stored is that we take a look inside, rather than the seeds being in a separate pouch or just like loose in here, they actually came in, try to do this with one hand, a little tiny tube. I'm not sure exactly why you would use this. I guess it's so that it keeps moisture out, and because the seeds are so teeny tiny, it just makes sure that you get the most out of them and you don't lose any in the packaging. And yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this after now. Anyone any suggestions? Maybe I could use it to propagate a little cutting or something so I don't have to throw it away. Then I've got here a summer squash. I've never grown this one before. It has a really unusual shape, so I thought I'd give it a go. There's this mini watermelon, a pickling cucumber. We've got some spaghetti squash, which I've grown before. Here is a gourd called Crown of Thorns. I think I bought these seeds last year, but I never got around to sowing some of them. They look really cool. I'm excited to grow these. And last but certainly not least, these tiger melons. I grew them one year. They're a really nice small individual portion melon, very attractive looking, and they have a really delicious sweet flavour. In this whole tray there are some dwarf golden wax beans. I was thinking that what I'll do with these is I'll dedicate an entire raised bed to them and just fill the whole bed up and get a really nice big harvest, hopefully. Well, that's the plan. Then down here I have a couple of varieties of corn, blue hoppy and red Aztec. I'm either going to have to move these trays or place some wire mesh over the top. And the reason for that is I've noticed down here, so this is another tray I haven't shown you yet. I've got some blazing star. They're actually bulbs in there, and I noticed early this morning that one of them was empty, but when I've come out a couple of hours later I noticed there's more being emptied. And I think what's happening is we do have a family of blackbirds, and I'm guessing it's probably them trying to dig in here. I don't know, could I be right there? Not sure, but I definitely know something's at them, so I should be covering these up because I don't want any of the seeds to be disturbed. And I reckon I'll go for these ones, which are the beans. I've come to realise over years of gardening that no two are ever the same. Like, these are the poppy plants, which are really beautiful, the Icelandic poppies, but the patch isn't as abundant as it was. I believe it was last year or the year before, where there were just so many blooms. Here they are just struggling, and I think mostly that's due to the fact that we have hardly had any rain. I know last week I showed you a little bit of rain, but that was about it since then, and it's just been really hot out. It's definitely time for me to be more vigilant when it comes to topping up the bird baths and the bee baths for our garden friends. And it's also lovely to see the wildlife enjoying a cool, refreshing beverage on a hot spring summer day. Something else that's happening out here is that over the last 7 days it's been quite smoky in the evenings and at night time. The smoke is due to back burning, which is a necessity this time of year considering we're heading into fire season. Now it's not too bad today, it's mostly in the evening and night time, and it just gets very smoky, and I've noticed some of the plants do have a very light layer of smoky dust or soot. I don't know what it is exactly. It happened during the bushfires too, and I reckon that affects the plants, like it covers the top of the foliage. I don't know, do you reckon that would prevent photosynthesis or definitely the health of the plants in some capacity? What you see here is a vegetable. This year I'm going to grow it. So what you're looking at is a choco. It's in the gourd family. I had never seen these before in my life until I moved to Australia and saw a plant growing in my husband's grandma's garden, and I was fascinated by them because she used to harvest them, chop them up, boil them and add them into a pot with stewed apples, and they kind of bulk out the apples. So that's what she used to do with them. I know other people use them as you know, in savoury dishes. They almost are a bit of a substitute to zucchinis. I've decided this year just to grow them like this, so I've left them on the windowsill. Now this one looks a little bit gnarly, but that's all right. This has happened before and they still grow to a full plant. You can see they just start to sprout from the top. Some people like to lay them down in soil. You can do that as well, just over the top of soil. I've just decided this year to put them into the jars and put them on the windowsill. No water, no potting mix required. I probably should have put this in the ground before I got this large, but it seems to be still fairly healthy. They are a sun-loving, heat-loving vegetable. Is this one stuck in here? Oh, hold on, it's coming. Yes, there we go. See, even that one looks a bit gnarly. It's gone a bit moldy actually. I need to get rid of that. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in a pot, keep an eye on it, and once the weather really heats up and any frost is well out of the way, I'll put this somewhere, and it is a vining plant, so I'll trellis it up somewhere, and hopefully I'll get a nice big harvest in late summer, autumn time. And I'll have to get a bit creative. If you've got any ideas, let me know, because I want to use up all of these. But how good is it to be able to grow a vegetable that can be added into different dishes, and it kind of takes up that flavour? Well, that's it for this week, everyone. I know this video is a little bit shorter than usual, but it's been very hectic here over the last few days. The renovations are coming along nicely. As you can see, the frame is almost up, but it has meant that there's been a lot of work we've had to do inside our house. Yeah, we're gonna have a big weekend of clearing out, decluttering ahead of us. It'll be a bit stressful, no doubt, but we'll get there. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next Friday.